All right, so welcome to Oneness Talk Radio. Intuitive You, we're so happy you are here today. And we are doing like the second segment of launching this amazing Intuitive Child program for 2022. We're just so excited to be doing this together and have our team just around the world just supporting you all in love, just to get connected to your intuitions, to be the change, which is what we're going to talk about today. And really, how you can get more involved. So Krishna, like, how would you describe our Intuitive Child project? Like, what is the Intuitive Child?
Well, it's very interesting when you ask this because all of us, we have this intuition that is just close a little bit or it's just fold in a secret, a space. And we develop since childhood. We start to see things, to hear, to just have the idea of doing. And then our parents, our former friends, or brother, sister, whatever, they start to educate you in some directions, so you start to change your point of view about life. And then the intuition comes again when you grow up and you say, oh, hold on, this is right or not. So this program will guide you through all these steps to knowing your energy, which is, I think, one of the most important parts in a person, to know their own energy, how to balance the energy, how every part of our whole body, physical body, has this intuition. And sometimes it hurts our head and we are like, oh, it's because something, I'm stressed because of something. But the intuition is telling you something, right? Or maybe your knee is working like kind of bad, and you probably say, oh, it's because of soccer, but it's not like that. The intuition is telling you something else. So first is the body, and then our energy also, how we feel, how express ourselves with the world and all around. So I think this program will guide you step by step to understand more about intuition and reach to the goal of personal realization with everything, in financial or relationships, or the goals that you have to get a new toy, or just learn to play an instrument. So everything is just settled there for you just to join with that love, and first of all with that compromise that we can have in our lives. So I think it's perfectly guided by that. And you develop the intuition to this program, Abby. So I would love you to share more about it. But I think the main idea is like this, you have a way to just realize more about yourself and to connect with that thing that maybe we just forget it because we start to get fear or unstable or just concerned about things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is, Krishna. It's the energy like behind the energy. So I was working with somebody yesterday, actually Amber on our team. And I was like, hey, go to the light behind the light. So intuition is like the energy behind the energy, meaning, man, I have this sensation or this pain, like you were saying, in your body, but what's the energy underneath it? And so children, and when we were children, we knew a lot of things, right? And we could feel it. And so it's more about giving ourselves, the children that we know, permission, not that they should never not have permission, but permission to be like, it's okay. I don't need to project my model of the world, my beliefs, but who you are is perfect. Your intuition naturally moving through you is perfect. And that's why I feel like, as I always want to say, like intuitive parents, right? Like we hold the space for unconditional love, right? We're like birthing the intuitive child, like intuitive parents, like, hello, you're love. Like unconditional love holds that space for children to be who they are and for you to be who you are. So that's why it's like, we're merging them all together. Like, so we have the adult program, right? For adults to have it. It's the same thing, right? It's unconditional love for us all, And it's like, I was talking to my best girlfriend yesterday, Alyssa, and I was like, man, I would never tell a child what I'm telling myself, right? Like I would never say anything unloving, right? So it's like to catch ourselves and be like, ooh, are we being the change as love, right? To ourselves and to our children. So back to what you were saying, the process, you're exactly right. As you know, because you've been translating it and creating it with me, it really is, it's the balancing of the main energy centers, right? It's not just the knowledge of them, it's actually being them and letting that life force merge and move with you, right? So we
Yeah,
do
exactly.
the chakra system, right? But it's, again, I never want people to think, oh, I'm going to go learn the chakras. No, if you decide to do this, you're going to learn how to be intuitive. We just use that as a way to like activate and channel that higher energy. But what were you going to say, Love, on intuition? Yeah.
Yeah, well, about that part, like you say, sometimes people um, confuse the idea of the energy and the chakras, and then how intuition works. Intuition, it doesn't have to deal all the time with the idea of I have a chakra and the chakra is telling me this, and like connecting all the time. You just let flow the ability to know something without analyzing, or the analytic reasoning will be better, because that's the intuition.
Yes.
It just come and you feel it and you expand all the ideas. So when you develop this as a kid, it's amazing, because you start just to like communicate better with all around you. And I remember when I was growing, my father used to read me things, and I was like, oh no, father, I want to watch TV, or I want to do this. And then he will say, well, you can watch it later, you can play whatever you want, but first let's read this lesson. So he was giving me these lessons about astrology or energy or just the pendulum or things like this. And I was like, very like, and the anxiety, like I want to do this other thing. But then when I grew up, I remember that all this information was there already. So when I started seeing life, it was so easy to just get involved with persons and with projects, because I had this already path, developed. So I think that's what the program can do. Even if you're an adult, you can remember that part of your childhood. And when you're a kid or a parent, you can increase that energy to the kid. I was so amazed when I saw the video that you sent me about this beautiful soul just watching you, learning how to develop the energy. And he was like just connecting instead of seeing cartoons. So,
So
so it was like,
what he's talking about is we have somebody in the program who's doing the classes, and it's a picture of a kid watching the program on the telly, like on the, and it's fun. It's like, can you imagine all our kids watching classes about intuition instead of like, cartoons? Totally.
yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah. It's working. Yeah, it's amazing. Wow. Is there anything else you want to add about that, Krishna?
Well, also you feel the instinct, when you are in the process of intuition, you start developing this, and you see your behavior about things. When you develop intuition, you just don't act like with the instinct, like an animal instinct, like, oh, angry or mad, or just stopping or yelling. So you just realize things and say, oh, I'm in a situation here. I had to develop more my, peace, or develop more my joy or love or my concern about things. So there's not a good a feeling of, oh, things are going bad. You just develop the idea, and then you start changing the point of view. So I think what brings intuition also, it will be a process that can gives us the ability to directly, without analytic reasoning, we just develop the love, the joy, the success, the abundance, and we just flow with life. So I think that's what we learn when we go with this.
Yeah. So I don't know if I ever told you this or not, Krishna, but I left a scholarship. So I had a scholarship for college, and it's like my intellectual understanding. It's like, don't leave, right? It makes sense to stay. And I'm like, I go up to the dean, of the college, and I'm like, I'm going to leave. And he's like, are you crazy? And I was like, maybe, but I'm going to leave anyways, because my intuition says to. And then I looked up the definition of intuition. It's beyond intellectual understanding. Exactly what you say. And so I'm like, I followed my intuition, started a company. I've been super happy and like changing the world with love ever since, right? So it is definitely beyond what you think, right? Because people would be like, well, you need a degree and you need to do this. And then, you know, when people would ask me, I'm like, well, why don't you just come to the office and have a session? We'll see how it
Wow.
goes. And they're like, okay. And then the experience is greater than the trying to figure out, right? When you follow your intuition, you act on it, that success is like almost instant. So that's why we're so passionate about helping the kids trust their intuition, because like we say in the matter, every child has a gift that only they are meant to bring the world. So when that gift is nurtured,
Mm-hmm.
it naturally opens, right? And then
Yeah.
that success happens, but it's the trust, and it's like, yes, I can trust, and we give you the steps of how to access your intuition and trust it. And then when you take the action, oh, you have the positive result. So that's why it's just such a great thing to be able to give your kids and yourself, right? So what we're talking about is you can go to www.theintuitivesuccessclub.com to find out about the adult version, and also there's a link right to the intuitive child in there. And then within that is One Heart Global, where we give back. We're actually working to build an orphanage in Ecuador. I've been working in Thailand and Bali and even the US for a while. Actually, even Mexico. I was telling Krishna, like back in the day, I went to Mexico and I was in high school and did, you know, healing stuff. It was amazing. So the point is, when you go there, you can actually see how it all works together, how you can get access to your intuition through the education here, and also help the kids, and how we get back to those kids. So it's just really beautiful. And if you want to go directly to the intuitive child, you can go to www.theintuitivechild.co. And you'll see Krishna and myself and Desiree from the Netherlands, who was just messaging us. So it's pretty fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
Krishna.
Let me just, I was like writing some ideas here because, you know, one of the best parts when you develop this intuition program and start, you know, like working with all the flow, you know, it's that you keep a journal, you know, you just keep putting the words around you, you know, and you
Yeah,
just feel the words, and
yeah,
then you just mix all the energy between the words and the reality that is coming to you. And I was like remembering also when you say about the situation that you have about scholarship, when I was like finally my school, you know, my career, I was working in a company. And the company, I was there for like 1 year, and I was developing very well. I love it because I was like in the human resources apartments. I was sharing and training people. But then there was my intuition saying like, I don't know if you're gonna live in this all your life, you know? So it was like a few weeks about this thought, and then it was so funny because one person from the company came, the manager, and asked me, hey, we want to develop more your, you know, your path here, so we want you to send to be there in another company and just get another training because we want you to have a like a manager license now, you know. And I was like, oh, that's a huge opportunity. I was like 22, right, by that time. and then I say, oh, but I don't know. And I was like, you know, with this confusion. But at the end, I just stop a little bit and say, well, I'm going to leave my thoughts be free and let my intuition decide which is the best. And, you know, like 2 weeks after that, I receive a call of a friend, and she asked me, hey, you want to travel with me? I'm in Greece. Why don't we come? Why don't you come here and we can travel? And I was like, this opportunity of traveling and also working here. And I was like, no, I need to follow my intuition. So I decided to quit the job, you know. I went to this travel for like 3 months. When I came back, I started to keep like studying because by that time I was studying homeopathic medicine. So I keep going with that, and I finish, and then the rest is history. It's like what I'm doing right now, right? So it was a crossing point in my life. So I think for people that I listen to this, we always have this crossing point, you know, when we decide just to keep going in the same direction, or we just follow our intuition and change. And when we change, we are really enjoying everything because we're serving. I think one of the most important parts of just having this intuition is serve, connect with that love and joy and serve, and you just flow with that, and people come together, you know.
Oh, totally. It's
Mm.
magic. Magic. I love it.
Like magic, exactly, like
Like,
magic. So,
yeah.
so yeah.
Be the light, be the love, and follow your intuition to your best life, baby. I love it. I was like, we
Yeah, I
both
love
say
that
that.
phrase. I love that phrase. Let's be the light, let's be the love, and follow our intuition.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
our best lives, because it
yeah.
naturally unfolds into that, you know. And it's like he says, it's beyond intellectual understanding, and really the first step is connecting with your heart and calming the mind, and that's where we're all united, right, in this place of love. And that is the magic. The love is the magic. It's like, you know.
You know what I wanted you to explain? It would be amazing to know more about how it works. You know, how's the program going? Because if somebody is listening right now, and the person say, "Oh, I would love to have this for my kids, but also for myself," how does it work? Because there's many steps that they can do and very easy, but they can go through every step in a lovely way too.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. So I call them modules. So I'm not how you say it in Spanish, Krishna, but it's like different parts of it. So there's three main parts. And
Yeah.
in those three parts are the different classes. So the first part is called the intuitive factor. So that's where we go through the activations of the chakras. And also what you said, it's not just about getting in the chakras, it's about being in the moment of knowing how to connect with your intuition. So for that first part, we actually teach you how to know what your intuition is, how to connect with it, how to listen to it, feel it, right? Like Krishna was talking about, you can feel it in your body, right? And quite honestly, a lot of us when we are kids or children around you can hear
Yeah.
like clairaudience, they have clairvoyance, they can see beyond the physical. So it's
Yeah.
starting to open up those channels of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then having grounding practices, meaning, feeling safe and comfortable in your body to actually be able to express and to share your gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first part. And then the second part is actually, it's clearing any blocks. So like you kind of mentioned before, like I think you said beliefs, or I said beliefs. So things that stop you from your natural expression, right? So it could be like, Mom, I want to be an astronaut. And like a really like good parent would say, of course you can, honey. But if somebody said, no, you can't, that would be like a block, right? It would be like, oh, like that's a block in my energy field. So we actually teach you how to work with your mind and your body to create like the pathways of energy that are positive, that support you being able to follow your intuition. So that's for you and your children, right? And it's easy. It's like my mom is one of my best friends, but it's like we have to make sure we're always thinking positive and saying positive because it's so powerful, even our words, right? So really getting clear. Both Krishna and I are NLP teachers, so a lot of it is around NLP as well, right? Learning how to work with that. So you can research more about that. Unless you want to add anything to NLP, Krishna, do you want to add any piece about?
Well, this program also gives you a lot of information about how our thoughts work, how our mind is like working together with our body expressions in life, and
Right.
how we repeat unconsciously some things that sometimes we don't even know from where they come, you know. And so this is an opportunity to know more clear about what are you thinking and how you're acting in between, so you integrate all these ideas. And I think it's very important for every person to know more about this, because we feed our mind with a lot of things every day, you know, music and food, and then we feed our mind like with watch TV or a program, or we hear something in the, you know, in the travel that we're making today, or just like reading stuff. And so we have a lot of media and a lot of information coming to our minds. So that program can help also to understand. So we integrate these ideas and develop with the also the energy part, which is like the balance in between, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to develop that. And I want to add, you know, because the program, some people say, well, it could be videos and information, and I had to read and stuff. But then you start realize you need to find a solitary place, a place when you can allow your emotions to flow freely, and you just sense how are your thoughts, and you express everything that you feel, and you just feel safe doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the best of the program, just to let you express yourself.
Yeah.
Mainly our society is like fearing to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They want to shift always, because if I'm in this environment, I need to be like this. And if I'm in this, I'm going to change. So
Right.
we move around from different characters. So I think what we do is developing your idea of just being yourself with this intuition to develop the most of you to get the success that you want in every goal.
Absolutely. And that really leads us into the third part, which is the business/manifesting factor, which for children, it's their dreams, right? So most of the work that I do and have done, well, it's been personal and business, but basically the club teaches you how to make money doing what you love. But for kids, it's like they start to talk about money, right? But it's like, it's the dream. It's the dream is part of it. The money's part of it. And I guess so Amber's kid, what did she say? So they're doing the program, and her kid was like, because I have a question, how much money do you want to make? And he's like, $40,000 a day. I was like, rock on, like no limit, right? $40,000 a day is a lot, like it's just fun because they're thinking about it early on, right? And thinking about money from a place of love and their dreams from a place of love. So that business/manifesting factor is really for you and your children to be able to monetize your gifts if you want, right? And like live your dream. Like, what is your dream? Define your dream. Set the steps, the foundation to actually be able to live it, right? Because sometimes the word dream can be like kind of out there floaty, and that's good at first, right? Because you're connecting with the energy of it, you're moving it. But then like I really feel this process that the reason it works is it brings it into reality. It makes it like here, like, oh, I got this. Now it's here. Now, like, I'm talking to Krishna. We're doing this program. Like, this is happening. Like, this is in reality. So I think that's why I feel like I kind of proved myself as a kid, right? At 19, I'm like, you wonder if I got a scholarship, you don't want to pay me, come and I'll prove it to you. And then the result is where it's at, right? So when you take it and you get the result, it's like, yeah, it works, right? So it's worth investing and understanding like, oh yeah, like this does work. I can bring it into my reality. So I know you're still creating this part with me, but if that's anything else you want to add on it, just really about intuition into dreams. It really is. Yeah. It's from that place of integration, right? It's from a place of.
I love the way that you say it. And yeah, I can tell that you are living proof of that, I just sensed it the first moment that I met you, and you just develop all the ideas and you just go through that and you just put effort. Also, is that very important because sometimes people just get programs to develop themselves and they want to receive the information, but they don't do anything. And also intuition, it's a part of just not connecting, but also developing the ideas. So we have to put our effort in this. And it's not like effort in a way of, oh, I need to do this. No, it's like with love and joy and just, I'm going to do it. I want to take a shower. I want to run. I want to just swim. I want to do whatever I want, So, and like you say, the energy just start to expand and you realize that it's possible. The things are possible because you're connecting with this like global energy of universe that is just telling you that universe is abundance all the time. We just need to connect with that, So I love it, and I appreciate a lot the way that you just develop it, And then with this program also in Spanish, I think it will increase more minds in a different language, and that will can, start in a more cultural way to have these thoughts in our daily life. Because usually we stop during the time of our lives to, I need to, in this period of my life, because I had a problem or, something difficult, I need to think in myself. So the program will guide you to don't wait for that. Just do it right now, because that's the way you will have the success.
Right. No, it's true. It's the action piece, and right underneath the action is exactly what you said. It's the belief. It's connecting, like, wow, that's really powerful what you said. Like, I just want to take a moment to pause with that, because when you tune into your intuition, you're connecting with the part of you that knows. Like, I think I left with like $20 in my pocket, but I was like, I know that I can do it. And that belief was so powerful. I would just keep doing it. I would take risk after risk, and then more would come, right? Because I knew that I knew. So we all have that part within us that knows. That is your intuition. And that's what we're just so committed to you following, because it moves you into infinite possibilities. And like you said, your best life, it's just super, super fun. And yeah, I'm so excited you're flying here to actually do it together. And it's like, it just keeps building, right? It expands. It just grows and grows. And so if you let yourself move with the energy, what you want comes to you. You don't have to reach out and try to get success. You actually become the success, and then you attract everything that is meant for you from love.
Exactly.
And so I'm happy, just so grateful for you as well, Krishna. It's just so beautiful to like share this and be able to bring it. And yeah, is there anything else you want to share? Should we share the websites before we go?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you, that it would be very nice if you can share the website again, how's the process to sync up and everything. So the parents and the kids that want to develop this intuition in this program can learn the best of it.
Yeah, really the simple one is just go to www.theintuitivesuccessclub.com, and that will link you to everything. You'll see One Heart Global and the Intuitive Child on there. So super simple.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We will have a third video that we're going to share soon with more energy. You will see it. It's a surprise.
It is a surprise. Very cool.
And yeah, with a lot of energy, I bet. And then, well, just keep like watching these videos. And if you have seen this one and you want to see the first one, also go and connect, because we have different information that you can develop, and you can like more clear idea about the program, right? So thank you, Abby. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and to everybody that is connecting here in this process.
Yeah. All right. Lots of love, everyone.